So you're thinking of moving to Palm Beach County? Well, before you do that, let's go ahead and go over the list of pros and cons of moving to Palm Beach County. And let's just jump right into it. All right, guys, like we said, we're going to jump right into it. But before we do, my name is Chris Sturm with LPT Realty. And let's just start with number one. So the first pro of moving or living in Palm Beach County, Florida, is going to be an obvious one, the weather. That's why most people move to Florida. At least a lot of people move to Florida because they are tired of the snow, they are tired of the cold, and they want to live in paradise. So here in South Florida in Palm Beach County, and just to give you a little bit of kind of geography here, Palm Beach is located in what we consider the southeast portion of Florida. That portion consists of Palm Beach County, Dade County, Broward County, St. Lucie County, some Monroe counties, and little areas like that. But the big three are Palm Beach County, Broward, and Dade County. Dade and Miami County, Miami-Dade County, I should say. And so the weather, we're considered a tropical because of savanna type of climate, which means we have hot and humid summers with temperatures ranging from, mid to high 80s, mid high 80s, all the way to, low 90s. And like I said, with the humidity, it can feel a lot hotter sometimes, and you're probably going to sweat a little bit. But it's beautiful weather to go outside, to go to the beach, to get a little tan. Oh, and then number one here with the weather, it's during the winter time. It's usually a mild to dry type of climate with temperatures in the high, mid to high 70s, all the way to the low to mid 80s. Doesn't really rain a lot, which is why in the winter times we have a lot of what we call snowbirds come from northern states or a lot colder states, and they come and vacation. Or they have their own second home. They have a second home down here in Florida to get away from having to shovel snow off their driveway. From having the bones hurt just from going out into the frigid air. And in the wintertime in South Florida, guess what? You can go to the beach, you can enjoy pools. So this is one of the reasons, probably one of the top reasons people move to South Florida is because they love the weather here. Now, with everything good, there's also bad, but we're going to get into that as my number one con because there is some cons to the weather, but we're not going to jump into that just yet. Now, the second pro is the beaches, and it kind of ties in with the weather, right? Because having beautiful beaches with bad weather just doesn't make sense. But here in South Florida, we get a combination of both. We have some of the best beaches in the nation, and our coastline is just littered with, littered with different areas and different beaches to go and enjoy, along with intercoastals, and it is a ton of fun. So we have from Palm Beach Beach, we have Lake Worth Beach, we have Juno Beach, we have Delray Beach. I mean, you could just name them. Any city, you're just head east, and you're gonna run into water. And each beach has its own little quirkiness, its own little uniqueness, and so there's a beach for everyone in reality. Some are a little bit more crowded, some are less crowded, some have more restaurants around, and some are a little bit more private. So whatever your taste, you're probably going to find a beach that really suits you. And now, pro number three is the diversity of Palm Beach County. So a lot of people think they hear Palm Beach County and they think Palm Beach Island. Palm Beach Island is located in Palm Beach County. People hear Palm Beach and they think Donald Trump, whether you like him or not. Not the point of this video, but that's what they think. They think millionaires, billionaires, and Palm Beach County has been on the news quite a few times for some billionaire scandals. But besides that, Palm Beach County is huge. It's big, and it has a bunch of diverse communities, a bunch of diverse neighborhoods, and really there is something here for everyone. And so if you're thinking, well, I'm not a millionaire, I'm not a billionaire, is there something for me in Palm Beach County? I can tell you, yes, there is. And being in South Florida, you can only imagine we have a huge Hispanic population, which makes food really, really good. My wife is from Colombia. I love Colombian food. But with that said, I mean, you find any ethnicity type of restaurant you want to go to, you'll probably find it in South Florida, and it's going to be delicious. So we do have that diverse population. So let's go ahead and get into pro number four. Pro number four is going to be tied to your financial pockets, and that is taxes. So now this isn't limited only to Palm Beach County. This is a whole statewide thing. We do not have state taxes. That is why a lot of businesses come down here, a lot of wealthy people, a lot of affluent people come down here because they're looking to save in taxes. Now, we don't have state taxes like New York or California or these other places, and so that's one way to save. Also, the cost of living here is less than some other places. I do not want to say we have the cheapest, you know, cost of living here, especially in Palm Beach County. South Florida is probably in the higher ranges of cost of living when you're coming and talking about Florida. But when we're talking about states like California, New York, or these bigger cities, there is definitely benefits. And this is why we've had such an influx of people coming from these states moving into Florida in general, but also Palm Beach County. And then we're going to go to pro number five. Guys, there is tons of stuff to do here. And maybe not directly located in Palm Beach County, but everything is a fairly short drive when you really think about it. So, I mean, in Palm Beach County, we have amusement parks such as Lion Country Safari, which is a big safari, which it says in the name, obviously. But you could, it's a drive-through safari. You can see lions, ostriches. I mean, all types of deer and animals that I really don't even know. But it's an amazing park. You can see that we have tons of museums. We have tons of obviously water attractions. We're a short drive from Broward, from Miami, and then also a short drive from Orlando, where Disney World is located, Universal Studios, SeaWorld, and all these other attractions, which makes Palm Beach a really good location because we are very centered to a lot of the big things here in Florida. Um, and so honestly, from here you could vacation. Honestly, you could vacation every year and find something to do in Florida without having to leave the state, which is amazing. I think that's a pro. And so let's go ahead and jump into the cons. Now, con number one is going to go back, like I said, we're going to go back into the weather. So with everything good, there is sometimes a little bit of bad. So in Florida, let's just start with the summer months. Summer months obviously could get brutally hot. Listen, today is July 5th. Yesterday was July 4th, and I had a bunch of people at my house yesterday, and I was grilling outside. And I can tell you, after a few hours outside, I definitely felt the heat start getting to me. So you definitely want to drink a lot of water because you will be sweating, especially if you're spending a lot of time outside. Doesn't take away the beautifulness of the heat, but sometimes it can be really hot, especially if you do work and you need to wear a suit. Well, be prepared to sweat. Bring an extra undershirt, or definitely make sure you have a car that you could turn on from inside your house with the key fob. That way you could turn on and crank that AC in your car before you make it out there, because if you have leather seats, I can tell you one thing, it is going to be hot. Now, con number two, and this is kind of like the weather, it's weather related, but because it's such a different aspect of it, I'm gonna just have it be its own separate con. It's gonna be hurricanes. So hurricanes are just a reality. If you're living here in South Florida, you're going to experience a hurricane in your life. Now, in the last decade, Palm Beach County has gotten extremely lucky where we haven't had any direct hits. But if you know what happened last year, you saw what happened to the West Coast. I mean, there was houses destroyed. Um, and obviously, the closer to the beach you live, the more, I guess, at risk you're at. So, with that being said, because of hurricanes, you might have to pay for flood insurance, especially closer to the water. Insurance rates are a little are higher. When we're talking about homeowners insurance, just because of that weather. So it's really important to make sure that when you do purchase a house here, that it's up to code, that you have hopefully a fairly new roof, in that you have really good homeowners insurance, because you don't want anything to happen and have to come out of pocket and pay for anything that could be damaging. So hurricanes is definitely a huge con. Now, con number three. Now, we talked about the cost of living and we talked about how it was less than a lot of other areas. But in Palm Beach County, the cost of living is higher. Property taxes are a little higher when you compare them to other cities, especially, North Central Florida. It is a little bit more expensive, right? And it kind of, I say, the further south you get, the more expensive. You go to Broward, kind of the prices are going up a little bit more. Go to Miami-Dade, forget about it. And so we're not the cheapest here in Florida. And you just gotta live with that, right? If you want to live in a beautiful place, there's a price tag to it. Now, con number four. Well, this is one, alligators. So no, I mean, we have Florida Gators, all the football team over there in Gainesville, right? The University of Florida. But with that being said, alligators are a reality. And honestly, if there's any natural or any body of water, you may end up seeing an alligator. So always be careful around bodies of water. And then con number five. Well, it is a tourist attraction, so it can get crowded. there can be a lot of people, especially during the vacation, during spring break times. You have a lot of people who are vacationing. They want to come experience the weather. They want to come experience the beaches of South Florida, and so expect some of the delays and expect some crowdiness, expect some traffic, especially during those vacationing seasons. And like I said, even in the winter, you're gonna have snowbirds coming down. So, guys, that's the pros and cons of living in Palm Beach County. So take these things into consideration when you're thinking about moving to Palm Beach County. Once again, this is Kristen with LPT Realty, and I'm out.